What's good, y'all? It's your boy Cam from Between Two Divs. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to create a Telegram bot, right? So, I've been thinking about kind of what I want to create. I was like, let me create something that's like not too complicated, but at the same time, we can build on top of it. And then, as we go along, we're going to be building a lot of different automation tools that make things easier. One of my favorite platforms to use, if I'm just trying to like just build something quick and dirty and I don't want to have to use a lot of like developer tools, right, so to speak. I'll use something like make.com. This is probably my favorite automation platforms out there that I've been messing with on the last couple of months. It's been pretty cool. There's so many different things you can build with it. Like I think once y'all start realizing the power of these tools, you're gonna be using this for your day-to-day tasks. Even maybe you make a little bit extra money on the side. With some people that maybe need some of the same tools that you're creating, right? So first things first is we want to create an account if you haven't already created an account. If you already have one, sign into wherever way you want to sign in. I'm just gonna sign with my Google account, right? So give me a second while I sign in here, and I will sign in with this account right here, my Cam Kirby account. Continue, right? Give me a second while it loads up here, right? All right, cool. So I'm gonna kind of do a quick rundown on what some of this stuff is. Not gonna go too in depth because, like I said, we're gonna probably talk about this more in detail later. But operations is like the number of operations like that you're doing, which means like every time that you run a scenario, right, it's gonna cost some operations to run it. So with the free plan, which I'm using the free plan here, right, you can do everything with the free plan. Like it won't cost you no more than like 14 operations to do what we're doing today. Like even if you mess up a lot, it won't cost you a lot because we're only having like two modules for this. So I wouldn't worry about this too much right now. But obviously, the more complex you make your tools, right, the more operations you're gonna run. So I think once you start kind of getting the hang of it, definitely pay for the pay plan. The pay plans like I think like $9 a month or something like that, and that's for like the basic plan. So that's all you really need to start. You don't need nothing crazy. So you got the organization, which like I said, it has all these different things you can kind of go through. I'll let you go through that on your own. You got your think subscription. So I can pull up right here. Yep. So you got the $0 a month plan, which is what I'm using right here. You got your $9 a month plan right here. For most of y'all, like $16 a month, you won't need more than this. Like don't waste your money getting this unless you just like have a huge team behind you. But you won't have to spend more than $16 a month. You know what I mean? So if you want to pay, this is probably the plan I would go for. If you're just starting out, $9 a month will more than be fine. You don't have to go too crazy with it. All right, so this is like the main thing we want to talk about, but we're gonna go back to this in a second. But your scenarios is every scenario you create, you're gonna have all the scenarios you have created right here, and you have your different folders. I like to create stuff in folders because it makes it easy for me. I already created a Telegram demos folder, and if you want to create a new folder, you would just hit this plus sign and then type in wherever you want, right? In your case, probably just do Telegram bot demos like I did, right? And then you want to hit save. Since I already have it saved, I'm just gonna hit close, so I don't have to worry about that, right? And we're gonna go back to this in a second, but give me a second. So from here, there's templates. Templates is like literally all the different scenarios people have created. So if you don't really know how to get started with something, you think about, oh, like you're like Cam, like that's something I really want to do, but I'm not sure how to do it. So you usually can kind of just scroll down and see something that is related to what you're trying to do, and see how it kind of shows you like a preview, a visual preview on kind of what scenarios will look like, right? So this is kind of like how you'd want to kind of just mess around and see, how you want to do it. We're not doing that today, and you can also create your own templates too if you want other people to see what you did and kind of get some inspiration, right? So and it's connections. So every time that you will use like a webhook or something like that, you're always going to have a connection, right? And then webhooks is literally like all the different apps and stuff like that as well. And you can also create your own webhooks. If there's not an app that's already there, you can actually use an API to actually add your own webhooks as well. So we're not going to talk about all that today, because like I said, the video will be too long, and I want to make this video about 10 minutes or so. So we'll get started. So first things first, once you create the folder, you don't have to create a folder, but it just makes things nice and clean, is create a new scenario. So we're going to create a new scenario, and then from there, we're going to go to the Telegram bot, right? And for this first one, we wanted to watch the updates, right? And then want to hit create webhook, right? You want to make sure your name is, you can call whatever you want. I'm not going to change the name right here. You want to create connection. Once you create the next connection, you want to actually add the Telegram token, API token. And to find the API token, you got to actually be on Telegram. So you can use the desktop app, which if you don't have it downloaded, you just want to copy this if you want to use the desktop app, or you can use your phone. But once you have it downloaded, you want to go here and you want to go to contacts, right? And then from there, let me blow this up so you can see what it is right here. All right, so from contacts, you want to do bot father, so / bot father, right? And it'd be this one, the verified one. You want to click that, and then you want to hit start. And you don't have to read all this, but just make sure you do this one, right? So you can do / new bot to create a new bot, right? And you want to create a new bot name. So I'm just going to call this 2divs. Actually, I'm going to do this 2divs demo 12, right? And then for the bot, we just want to just add bot at the end of it, right? So we're going to do the 2divs underscore, 2_divs underscore, and then demo, and then underscore, 12, I guess, and then underscore bot, right? And then this is what you're going to need. You're going to need this API access token right here. You want to make sure you copy that, right? And I'm going to delete this after that so you guys don't try to hack into my stuff. I don't know. But you just want to paste it right here. And this actually creates the connection once you have it, once it's valid. So once it's valid, you want to hit save, right? Now it's working. And you want to save it again, right? And then once you do that, you want to search for the actual bot itself, which is your bot. So you want to do 2divs demo 12. It should pop up. If not, okay. So this is my bot, but you want to make sure that you type it like this to find it on the global search, your bot. So once you do that, you're actually on the chat for your bot, right? You want to hit start, and that gets it started. So once you do that, I highly recommend is going to, I actually want to do this because this is probably better. Let's see. Is once we do that, you want to hit add the module, and we're going to do this first. I don't know if it's gonna work like this. We're going to find out. So once you do that, you want to hit save, send a text message to reply, right? So every time you get a message, it will reply back something. And so from here, what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put, actually, I'm going to run this. It's not going to work like this yet, I don't think. Run this module here, right? So now it's saved. I could have just saved it, but from here, you want to hit hey, right? And then once you hit hey, you should see something right pop up here. Let's see if it'll. Okay, so right here is, let me do this one more time because sometimes it's weird. It doesn't really do it how I want to. Let's run this one more time. All right, so Okay, so this is the hey that we were looking for. I like to try to just make sure that I'm looking at the right thing right here on the message. And so from here, you want to go find this from, right, from the message. So you want to see message. Underneath that, you want to see the from, and then this ID right here. This is the ID you're looking for. And obviously, every ID is going to be a little different. It just depends on where you're going from. Because honestly, once you create the bot, you can use this from be any person who has access to Telegram can actually use your bot. Does that make sense? So once you do that, you want to go ahead and make sure that you have this from and then the ID that's the from ID from that. So from there, you want to go ahead and go back here, right? And the chat ID will be the from that I was mentioning. So see the message and the from, right? So you would go ahead and get that. That's going to be the one that you want. Not this one, but this one right here. Message from and then the ID, right? So from here, you want to just type a text message. You can type whatever you want. I just say, hey, what's up? No, we can just do like, what's up? You know, remember that, what's up? So from here, you want to go right here. And so we're going to go do this one more time. So we're going to do, hey, we'll run this once, one more time. Wait for new data. And we're going to say, what is going on? What's up? Right? And that's it. That's it. That's it. That you have created your first Telegram bot. So that's it. That's pretty much how it works. See, it executed all the stuff right here, and it's working fine now. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat. I know it took a little bit longer to kind of get this going. Like I said, there's a lot of trial and error, and sometimes you'll be messing with stuff and it won't run as fast as you want. But this is kind of a general way on how you want to create a Telegram bot and how it can actually give you something back based on what you've given it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow we'll actually add on to this and do some more features with it. But hopefully this was informative and it helped some of y'all. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later.